Now, this Grand Prix for the Bentley 2018 Continental GT3, and yeah, this car is a weird one. And like, I've landed myself in a tier 1 group, so yeah, I'm expecting to not maybe be in the top 3 or so of this, but at the same time, yeah, there's a ton of keys to be had here. So there's like 10 guaranteed, and then yeah, going down further, these, you're still talking about a 50% key chance at position 15 in this group. So yep, I always say this, just keep in mind, like, the car that's the prize and the group that you've landed in, definitely things to keep in mind when you're spending tokens. But yeah, the car itself, if anyone's done a single race on this thing, you'll realize that it isn't exactly amazing. And yeah, it kind of sucks because it's needed for a stage in the special event for the Valhalla. The only thing is, like, you also need to upgrade it with that. Now, if you've qualified for the Grand Prix, the thing is, by playing through the stages in the practice stages each day, you'll get like about 10 or so blueprints from this, and you'll also be getting blueprints every 4 hours potentially from the free pack. So you could get it upgraded through that. Now, during this video, I'm going to upgrade it to the 2nd star, which will let me take part in that stage in the Valhalla event, because I want to anyway. I will point out for anyone doing that, that stage with the 2-star version of that Bentley is meant to still be rock hard. So just keep in mind the fact that, like, doing that doesn't guarantee you all those rewards. It is still a nightmarishly hard thing. But yeah, the difference between a 1-star and a 2-star version of this car is around 400 rating, brings it from a 1600 car up to 2k, which is the reason why I want to do it. But what I'll do is, I'll firstly do a run with practice with the 1-star version of the car, then upgrade it with packs, then do a race with the live car at 2 stars, and hope for the best, realistically. Like, this is a tier 1 group, so like I said, I'm not exactly expecting a first place win, but hopefully I get myself a key out of this one. Even though, again, it's not an amazing car. So yeah, it's not exactly going to break my heart too much if I don't get it. It's just a case of, as always, I'm at 96 cars. I got the Valhalla on the way incoming, and yeah, I like to collect those cars, so it'd be cool to get the key for this one. Practice stage though, and yeah, like I said, this one's going to be in the 1-star version of the car. Main things you're going for here is the 7 360s and just 51 seconds. 51 seconds is relatively easy. I've already done a run of this, 47.6 with the 1-star tune version of this, but I said I would capture and upload the route that I use on the thing, and even just some advice on the car itself, because yeah, anyone who's raced with this thing right now would realize that, like, it can't drift. It really just suffers way too much. Like, not only is its drifting really poor in the fact that it will just glide towards the nearest wall and impact it, but also its nitro ability is rubbish. So it really, like, it's impossible to actually gain anything back from performing even careful drifting with this car. Just 360 off here, mostly just to complete that quest, because I need 7 360s. But through the cave here, just easing up off the accelerator a small amount, very carefully trying to steer it through this tunnel, rather than, like I say, normally using even just an open drift there. But in this car, open drift is just, you're going to glide into a wall. Blue nitro across the grass, and I'm just going to keep onto this nitro, keep it more or less filled up. It should fill right before the jump towards the finish line here, and just, yeah, shockwaving 360. Now, normally I wouldn't even use the shockwave with the 360, because it's not needed. It's just a case of doing it for that quest to get those 360s in. But that's 47.2 in, yeah, the 1-star version of that car. And like I said, yeah, at that last thing, I would have just done a regular shockwave. To be honest, this thing's shockwave is fairly weak, but still, it would be better than 360ing there at the end, because that obviously takes some momentum out of the car as you throw it into a spin. But I'm going to do one more run of this with the, just 360ing to get the blueprints from this before upgrading my car to that 2nd star. Now, and I got to do this one more run with the, just minus the 360ing in that shockwave part at the end of this. And, this is a weird one, because, like, I think that 260 run was exceptionally like a decent run, but this car is very, very weird, and how it handles definitely strange. But I would advise, it's got that 7-minute refuel time, so just make the most out of that. Come back in here, do lots and lots of practice before you do your 3 live runs if you want to be winning yourself a Bentley. But this is definitely a strange car. I'm going to do the same thing in here, watching the lines really, really carefully. Don't want to drift out too far. I say drift, you don't want to drift at all, because this car will just die. Yeah, just keeping enough nitro just barely to cut it across the grass. And from here I'm in nitro save mode, so I just want to build it up for this final jump and see if it makes a difference now. And just being ever so careful with the steering, just don't want to leave it drift out at all too far. And let's see, what do I land? Yeah, possible to do a 47.0 without doing those 360s to the end. Now admittedly that was a cleaner run before that point, but I do think that the 360s at the end, if anything, like, it is just going to be like so close to the finish line, it is going to be worse for you. So yeah, definitely possible to get a 47 near even with that stock, or well, with 1-star version of the car for sure. And for anyone wondering, by the way, when it comes to the upgrades of this one, so there's the different like requirements for it. So your 1-star, that's just you get the key, you get the car at 1-star. 2 stars for this, you can see that right now it's the 26 blueprints requirement. I need 16, which is an awful number to try to get to. 3 stars then is 38 blueprints, and then the final star is 64. I mean, it's only 128 in total, but it's also a worthless car. It really is genuinely quite poor. So like, you have your ratings throughout there. You can see at 1-star most people have this at 1.5k rating. At 2 stars it goes up as far as just under the 2k, but it's still woeful. It's like, it doesn't get better. So don't get like lured in by the fact of like, oh, a D-class car that's 2.7k. No, like, not only is that still very tough to handle, but say if you're thinking something like the weekly contests and stuff like that and trying to get back your tokens through this, keep in mind the fact that this car is not suited in the slightest for loads and loads of tracks. It cannot drift. And like, yeah, the weekly competitions also have AI cars that are in there that are going to nudge you around the place. And even if you were to every week going forward, like, get the top percentage of this instead of getting the top 5% in this, you're talking about 10 tokens extra per week. It'll never pay itself back, even if it was to get you like that, which it still wouldn't, but still, yeah, incredibly costly, incredibly bad car. That said, time to upgrade it in the shop and spend some tokens. Yeah, I just want this one tuned up to the 2nd star so I can at least, for me, it's always my tactic. If I want to get the key for the thing, I'll spend some tokens up front, spend some packs, and yeah, then make use out of the car at that 2nd star for the duration of the Grand Prix, rather than waiting a few days and then upgrading it. Because yeah, it just makes more sense to me to go ahead and drop tokens early rather than try and fix a poor Grand Prix later on. If you are going to spend tokens, my general advice for this is, if you're like trying to work up tokens collection or towards cars, is don't spend stuff on this. I would advise, if you weren't interested in car collecting in this game, yeah, I would strongly advise not spending on this one. But like I said, I do really want to unlock the key for this, so I'm going to blast some things. Now, I already took a look at the packs for these, and the only other thing in this is the Vanda Electric is the only epic that is of any interest to me in these packs. The W Motors Fenner is not in these packs, which is the only other blueprint that I usually need. So I'm gonna have to wait up for Valhalla packs for that, I think. But time to test some drop chances then and see how much this sets me back. 16 blueprints to go, and oof. Yeah, I hope this isn't a really bad drop rating, because like, this car is already bad. But because of the fact that the additional blueprints in this thing do not have anything really of use at all to me, yeah, I'd want to be opening as few of these as possible. So naturally, 3 blueprints in the first. Yay! What's that mean? Yeah, because it still need 5 sets of blueprints now, so really, really nasty. There's AW motors. Cool. At least that's 750 tokens spared, just about. And there we go, 6 from that. So still need 7 blueprints. I hate how this one is lined up with that from the practice stages. The fact that I haven't had any luck so far with the getting the blueprints from it. But yeah, just 7 more to go. So at worst, 3 by 750 tokens. At best, I'll get a jackpot right now. Oh! Hey, that works. But yeah, so alright, there we go. So that's not too bad at least. And it sends it 12 blueprints towards the next star, and wow, that could have been a Valhalla jackpot. I shouldn't complain. I got anything, I am happy. 1942 rating with this, and so yay. But yeah, I should not complain about any jackpots because yeah, it's still cool, but that's still relatively costly. Like, there's arrows on the back of this one pointing at where the brake lights are. Like, just so you know, they're here. You'll never need them because this car won't get fast. But still, it has brake lights too. 2 stars. Wonderful. But what does that send me back? It's about 2,000 or so tokens. It's not too bad. And if it gets you the car, cool. If it doesn't, cool. I don't care. Now though, time to upgrade these awesome stats. They're so, like, the nitro and handling are so laughably low. It's insane. You can see there as well, yeah, 30 blueprints required for the 3rd star. Absolutely insane to go for that, in my opinion. And let's see, and just throw in these. Yeah, it'll get me my daily quests complete. It's also, woohoo, 10 tokens back. And thankfully as well, this doesn't take epics right now, so it is just going to be straight up to the 1942. I won't need an epic, I think, at least until that final star. I'm almost sure anyway. Let's see. I'm gonna, like I said, tune this one up, and I'm gonna hit it up in practice a couple of times and see how it works out at that blistering fast 1942. Now same rating as something like a DS E10s, but still I would take a DS any day of the week over this piece of Bentley. Now, I've done one run with the upgraded car, got 46.5 in practice, and yeah, it's definitely a lot more sprightly in the the launch of this car is now better, and the nitro meter is definitely it's gotten more capable. I mean, the 1-star version of this is just useless. The 2-star one, at least, it's still pretty useless, but you know, it's slightly less useless. This car is never a good car though, definitely. Strong recommend against it. It is just a case of, for collection purposes, you would want this. But you can see there, like, I have like an extra small amount of nitro just for playing around with coming down this first hill, and it loses slightly less speed going into the first tunnel area, so it's slightly less worthless, but you know, that's on a fairly bad scale to begin with, and it's just one of those ones where it's definitely not a car to go just crazy over. I'm just going to shockwave early with this because, yeah, I think I should be able to punch that. Yeah, there we go. 46.3. So you can shave off around a second or so with that 1-star. So it's not too bad. It's definitely more capable than it is at that 1-star version. But yeah, again, like, that can be quite costly. Like, as it stands, where you need 16 blueprints to get it to the 2nd star, like, that can cost you around 5,000 tokens. So keep in mind that, like, this car is one I would not quite say is worth that much, but yeah, it's definitely like everyone's down to themselves. Just take a look at the group you're inside, and let's take a look though. Go for a live run. Now though, time to see if I can bring this to the track and get a similar result on there. So I've given myself the normal restart to the game. Obviously, before you go into a run like this, I restarted the game, done a single practice run already in Scotland. So yeah, this is the least likelihood of getting a game crash. Hey. And I just want to see, can I get somewhere similar enough to the time that I put in practice. Now, I've done a couple of practice runs with this one, and yeah, it's consistent enough. It's not exactly amazing, but obviously it's a lot more forgiving now than it would be at the 1-star version. That said, this track will come down to like the thousandths of a second when it's for your live runs. So really any little mistakes at all here, and this is a run in the garbage kind of for this one. Just want to make sure and keep enough nitro for inside the tunnel, but again, just easing off. Watch the lines, nice and handy. Shop into the air, so you can get some brake nitro while retaining enough just to cut it right across the grass. And again, and just small bit of nitro in the back line. It's got enough, just barely, to kind of splash out a bit, but keep in mind that you absolutely cannot drift in this car to get it an increase in nitro. But 46.4, that obviously no one in my group has done a run because they're all just watching each other like, go me. So yeah, I'm in first, and equally I'm in last, because yeah, no one else has run. So I don't know what kind of group this one might shake out. Everyone might just wail out on that car and bring it right up. For the meantime, what I might do is, yeah, I'm happy enough with that. I'll keep on to my other 2 runs, do some more practice over the next day or so, but I just want to throw this video up on day 1 for anyone who's kind of taking a look at their groups and saying, what do I do? This car feels shite. Yeah, it's really bad. And it's not just you, it is the car. Main takeaway from this is, like, I wouldn't spend tokens on this. But yeah, just if you are going to like go in for this car, keep in mind it is not a machine that can drift at all. That's the absolute main thing about it. And like obviously the same as in all Grand Prix, say just take a look at your group, see if you spot people who are like garage level 18 and in clubs where they're doing like 1 million or so reputation, and kind of gauge for yourself. It's like, is it likely you would get the key? Do plenty of practice runs as well with this, because obviously like the car just has that 7-minute refuel time. Again, that's why it has like a 7 on the front of the car. It's clearly 7 minutes to fill it up, but still it is just a case of make as much use of those as possible if you're going to like aim to get this one. I wouldn't, other than the fact of I like collecting cars. It generally, if you've missed out on the opportunity to take part in this Grand Prix, yeah, you're grand. I'll be doing runs of this each day. I'll try and make sure they're up on the first day. That will be possible for at least the first 3 or 4 stages. I may miss out on the final ones, at least of doing one with commentary, but I'll see what I can do. And yep, as always guys, there's a sub button up there of my head. If these videos help out, please do give it a click. Other videos from me here, leave a like, leave a comment down below and see what you think of your Boatleys. And yeah guys, good luck in this Grand Prix and drive safe with it.